In the serene tranquility of an ancient Zen monastery, a wise master posed a seemingly impossible challenge to his eager disciple. Underneath the centuries-old cherry blossom trees, the Zen Master, a figure of calm and wisdom, looked intently at his young disciple. The master, with a twinkle in his wise old eyes, presented a challenge that would require not just skill, but the ultimate focus. "Catch a leaf falling from the cherry blossom tree with your eyes closed," he said, his voice echoing softly in the quiet monastery. The disciple, a youthful spirit brimming with enthusiasm, was eager to impress his master. He was quick to accept the challenge, his heart pounding with anticipation. His eyes sparkled with determination, his mind already picturing the leaf in his hand. Little did he know, this challenge was not as simple as it seemed. It was not about the leaf, nor was it about the act of catching it. It was about something much deeper. The Zen master watched quietly as the disciple prepared himself. He knew that the challenge he had put forth was not just a physical task. It was a lesson in focus, a lesson in patience, a lesson in understanding the subtle rhythm of life. The master knew that the disciple, in his youthful haste, had failed to grasp the depth of the challenge. But he also knew that the learning would come, not from his words, but from the journey the disciple was about to embark upon. The disciple, with his eyes closed, stood under the cherry blossom tree, his hand poised to catch a falling leaf. He was confident, his mind filled with thoughts of success. He was eager to prove himself, to show his master that he was ready for the challenges that lay ahead. But as the wind rustled the leaves of the cherry blossom tree, the disciple found himself waiting, his hand still empty. The leaves fell around him, but none landed in his outstretched hand. His confidence wavered, his focus faltered. But he was determined to persevere, to succeed in the challenge posed by his master. The disciple, brimming with confidence, had no idea that the true test was not in the challenge, but in the journey it would entail. As the morning sun illuminated the monastery, the struggle of the disciple began. As dawn broke, the disciple embarked on his journey towards achieving the elusive state of ultimate focus. With the Zen master's challenge echoing in his ears, he found a quiet corner, crossed his legs, and closed his eyes. He was determined, confident even, that he would master his mind and its wandering tendencies. But the path to mastery is rarely smooth. The disciple soon found himself besieged by distractions. The rustle of leaves in the wind, the distant hum of the monastery, and the chirping of birds all seemed to conspire against him. His mind, rather than quietening, was a whirlpool of thoughts, each one more intrusive than the last. In his pursuit of focus, he discovered a battlefield within himself. He was waging a war against impatience, against the desire to get up and do something, anything, other than sit in stillness. He found himself wrestling with his own restlessness, a restlessness he hadn't noticed before. He tried to suppress it, to ignore it, but the more he resisted, the stronger it seemed to become. The disciple tried and he failed. He tried again and he failed again. With each attempt, his self-assurance waned. The morning turned into afternoon and then to evening, and still the disciple had not found the focus he sought. His initial confidence had been replaced by frustration, his determination by doubt. He questioned his abilities, his worthiness. He wondered if he was cut out for this, if he would ever attain the ultimate focus that the Zen master had challenged him to achieve. The day turned into night, and the once confident disciple was now ridden with self-doubt. But was he ready to accept his failures? As the monastery was enveloped in the darkness of the night, he was left alone with his thoughts, his failures, and a decision to make. Would he let his failures define him, or would he use them as stepping stones on his path to ultimate focus? Only time would tell. Watching his disciple struggle, the master decided it was time for an unexpected lesson. The master, wise and observant, saw the frustration etched on his disciple's face. The disciple, determined yet perplexed, was trying to carve a path through the rocky terrain of his mind, seeking ultimate focus. The master, with a calm yet compelling voice, began his lesson. "Imagine," he said, "a river flowing through a landscape. It doesn't force its way through, nor does it stop when it encounters obstacles. Instead, it gracefully flows around rocks, trickles down slopes, and gradually carves a path through mountains. It embodies patience, persistence, and serenity. The river does not rush to reach the ocean. It understands that the journey is as important as the destination. It knows that the path it carves will become a part of the landscape, a testament to its patience and persistence. And in time, it will reach the ocean, not because it was in a hurry, but because it never ceased to flow. Similarly, the master continued, to achieve ultimate focus, you must be like the river. You must flow with patience and persistence, navigating around obstacles rather than forcing through them. You must understand that the journey to focus is as important as the focus itself. The path you carve in your mind, the lessons you learn along the way, they all become a part of you, shaping your understanding and perspective. Remember, the master said, ultimate focus is not a destination to be reached in haste. It's a journey to be embarked upon with patience, persistence, and serene acceptance of the challenges that come your way. The journey may be long and the path may be challenging, but if you flow like the river, you will find your way. The disciple nodded, understanding the words of his master, but still unsure of how to apply them. He knew the journey ahead was not going to be easy, but he was ready to take the first step. The master's unexpected lesson had opened a new path for him, one that led to ultimate focus. With the master's words echoing in his mind, the disciple found himself standing at the edge of a revelation. He had been so consumed by his own impatience, so blinded by the ego that he had failed to grasp the essence of the master's teachings. But as he stood there, a realization dawned upon him. It was not about achieving immediate success, it was about the journey of learning and growth. He began to understand that the key was not in the relentless pursuit of focus, but in the calm acceptance of the mind's inherent wanderings. He realized that his impatience and ego were the very shackles holding him back. His judgment of his own progress was his greatest obstacle. The disciple began to practice his focus with a newfound calmness. He let go of his need for instant results, his obsession with perfection, and his fear of failure. He allowed his mind to wander, but each time it did, he gently brought it back to the task at hand. He practiced this not once, not twice, but countless times in different contexts under varying circumstances. His practice was no longer a struggle against his mind, but a dance with it. He learned to observe his thoughts without judgment, to exist in the present moment without the burden of the past or the anxiety of the future. He learned to be patient with himself, to accept his limitations and celebrate his strengths. And as he practiced, he felt a change. A sense of calm washed over him, a quiet stillness that he had never experienced before. It was as if he had found a serene lake within the tumultuous ocean of his mind. This was not the frantic focus he had been chasing, but a serene, persistent focus that flowed like a gentle stream. The disciple felt a sense of calm he had never experienced before, but was it enough to meet the master's challenge? Only time would tell. But for now, he reveled in his revelation, in the peace and clarity it brought. Days turned into weeks, and the time had come for the disciple to face the master's challenge once again. Time, our constant companion, had been both a teacher and a healer, allowing the disciple to absorb the lessons imparted by the master. Within this disciple, a transformation had occurred. Gone was the naive soul who had first approached the master, replaced by a figure of quiet determination. His eyes, once filled with confusion, now sparkled with the light of understanding. The once young and restless spirit had learned the value of patience, the power of focus, and the virtue of perseverance. As he stood before the challenge, he did not see an insurmountable task, but a journey of self-discovery. He took a deep breath, clearing his mind of all distractions. His focus was like a laser beam, sharp and unwavering. He was not just looking at the task at hand, but was truly seeing it, understanding its intricacies, and appreciating its complexities. With each step, he remembered the master's words. Each lesson learned came alive, guiding him, giving him the strength to move forward. He no longer feared failure, for he understood that it was merely a stepping stone to success. He was patient, knowing that haste was the enemy of perfection. He was persistent, understanding that the path to success was not a straight line, but a winding road filled with obstacles. Finally, after what felt like an eternity, he succeeded. But this victory was not just about overcoming a challenge. It was a testament to his journey, a symbol of his transformation. He had not just learned to focus, he had mastered it. He had not just faced a task, he had conquered his self-doubt and impatience. The disciple, now a master of focus, had not just conquered the challenge, but his own self-doubt and impatience. The journey of the disciple had come full circle, his transformation complete. The once naive disciple was now a master in his own right. His journey, like ours, is a reminder that the path to ultimate focus is not a destination, but a journey of self-discovery and growth. The Master, standing in the soft glow of the setting sun, had his final words for the disciple. With a nod of approval, the Master began, "You have done well. Your journey to harness the art of ultimate focus has not been easy, but you persevered. Remember, the struggles you faced were not obstacles, but stepping stones leading you towards greater wisdom. You listened, you learned, and most importantly, you unlearned. You shed the layers of impatience and restlessness, and discovered the essence of focus." The Master paused, letting his words sink in. Then with a twinkle in his eyes, he continued, "You have learned to focus, like the hawk, single-minded and unwavering in pursuit. But remember, the hawk is not just focused when hunting. It maintains its focus even when it soars high in the sky, basking in the freedom of flight. That is the true art of focus, not just a means to an end, but a constant state of being." A gentle smile played on the Master's lips as he added, "Do not restrict this focus to your practices alone. Extend it to every aspect of your life. Let it guide your thoughts, your actions, your words. Let your focus be like the river, flowing steadily, carving its own path through mountains and valleys, undeterred by the rocks and rapids. Let it be your compass in life." He then pointed towards the setting sun. "See how the sun sets, marking the end of the day, yet it never loses its focus. It continues its journey, casting shadows, bringing forth the night, only to rise again, bright and focused. Let your focus be like the sun, unwavering, consistent, and perpetual." With a final pat on the disciple's shoulder, the Master concluded, "This is your path now. Do not seek to walk in my footsteps, but create your own. Use the focus you've learned here as your guide." As the sun set, the disciple understood that the art of ultimate focus was not just a technique, but a way of life.